It's all about the just concluded Ondo State governorship primaries, where we're having series of reports, series of protests, but a winner has been declared with two local governments are thereabout declared it conclusive. But Ododo did his job according to reports by saying that the incumbent governor, Ayedatiwa, came out top. But that didn't go down too well with so many other aspirants. Like I say, 4 of them, their supporters came out to protest, saying what they saw is a slap on democracy. What they saw shouldn't be even spoken of in tenets of democracy. But what they saw is a show of shame that it could just be tantamount to just say that there was no election, no primaries that took place in Ondo State. While in one quarter, the persons that are supporting the winner right now, the incumbent governor, they all filled with smiles, with joy, hailing democracy process. They are saying this is the best of the best, that this really depicts the heart, the mind, the body language of the people of Ondo State, that Ayedatiwa is truly the one sent to them by divinity to take them to the promised land. Different folk, different strokes. Well, with me here in the studio to give detailed analysis of what really transpired on Saturday, I have Harrison Ezeko, a politician, entrepreneur, political analyst, and of course a councillor in Ondo, right? Yes, Ondo local government area. Harrison, welcome to TMI Monday's edition. Appreciate your coming.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Right.
Just to say that I'm not a politician.
Are you not occupying a political office?
Politics is not a profession.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, in course of the discussion, we're going to throw more light on that. Without
it's a profession.
It's a profession.
It's not a profession.
Okay, fine.
Thank you very much.
So very close to him. He is a human rights activist, political analyst, and also a politician, entrepreneur. Join me to welcome Collins Osagai. Collins, welcome to TMI Monday's edition. I appreciate you coming.
We're saying good morning. Good morning, viewers.
We're spending the light of Innocent Okotabo when he comes in. He's going to join us definitely in the studio to share his own thoughts and, of course, opinion on this particular discussion. I want to start off with Collins Osagai. APC conducted their primaries in Ondo State. You know the stories as well as we do. Now, what do you really feel that happened in the primaries that saw a winner emerge in the midst of protests and rejection of the whole process?
Yeah, thank you very much, Wilson. It's quite unfortunate that we are still where we are in this country. First, because we have had people that have ordinarily lost integrity, that have lost human identity, quote and unquote. Why have I said that? From who you sent, when you are sending an errand to a king, who you must send must be befitting to standing before the king and at least a little bit presentable. Though it may be a servant, but to an extent not the most peasant of your age you would send to a king. At least the one that also have that onus. The Ondo State primary, yes, there will certainly be a winner. The incumbent governor could have been declared. Good and fine, because so long as the governors forum remains there, and one who's already part of them is asking for re-election, they are like market unions. They are like these unions today. That is why you see foodstuffs and some basic things cannot go down, because they are now operating in a kind of unionism that they have brought in. It's so fearful, it's so worrisome, and it could end everything we have tried to work for. When the governors forum decides, they will stop at nothing to having their way. But unfortunately too, how can the governor of Kogi State who have personally voluntarily made himself an ass boy, even as a governor, to go and conduct a primary of where you have candidates like okay and all that names that you know that over the time they have been consistent in this pursuit.
So if you say that he's like a house, but that's quite derogatory because he's a governor of a state.
Yeah, I said who chooses now? If you are a governor of a state, you chooses to reduce the authority, the onus, the honor that goes with that office by way of your actions. Since he came in, how can a governor have been sworn in? Yes, it's good as an African man to be meek, to be humble, and you put your 2 knees on the ground, handing over your certificate to your predecessor. I'm coming, sir. At what point can you get to that level? Is that how you say you are a lawyer? Then you are not even taking a step further. You were creating the office of the former governor inside your own office. And the man has perpetually remained in your office ever since. You made his little brother your chief of staff, who barely have even finished his secondary school, but though they say he has. But by way of having seen him, so there are some things you do that completely say, we are not saying you should be a fighter to whoever you succeed, but you must manage a way that it shows that you have an authority. Then you ask such a person to go and conduct a primary in another state that was as volatile as Ondo. No, now you can't do that. So I didn't expect anything better than what was displayed. Not to say that there are primaries where you will not always have issues ordinarily. People will always cry out. People will always say, some will always say it was not free and fair. But for the onlooker, for example, you can indeed say, okay, it may not be perfect, but it was near perfect.
All right. Not be perfect, but near perfect in some good cases,
Yeah.
right? Well, Harrison Iseko, you heard him, he said the person that was sent to coordinate the primaries, really, according to him, it's not befitting for that particular position. He gave that incident of him being so over loyal, submitting his authority to Yahya Bello and all that, saying that he could liken to a person that used to reduce himself to the level of a house boy. Some will look at it as a kind of, unalloyed loyalty to Yahya Bello. Well, that is just by the wayside. Now, taking a look at the election proper, the protest, when I say the outcome of the primaries, is it really the making of Ododo? Because he may not be there in the field. Whatever they give to him is what he's going to announce. Are you going to blame the man, the head of the committee?
Well, thank you very much. You see, is that when the purpose of a thing is not defined, abuse is inevitable. Well, we have found ourselves in this country every time when it comes to struggle for power, the way people take power, the way people go about it. In the words of Lord Action, say power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. You cannot overemphasize the power of a sitting governor. The sitting governor has the same power with the president. In his own state, a sitting governor will conduct primary. They will not come and tell him that they don't win when he's also contesting that primary. Where are you going to conduct the primary? That's what the law says is the chief security officer of the state. I think that they are the sitting government in Ondo State. One would have expected that they should be able to play low on this in-house crisis. I think the reason why the thing is very high, it is because of what happened. You know, he was a deputy governor. Yes. The former governor was sick. Yeah, Rotimi was sick. They flew him out just like that before the man eventually died. The role he played as at that time is what is haunting him right now. Because I would have expected him with somebody who have wisdom. Because the man is sick, nobody have power over life. To be patriotic, to be loyal, even when the man is sick, to play low, quiet, and allow the will of God to be done. But that was not the case of Ododo. Ododo was going in between, trying to take over government, instigating people to come out and say that declared the man incapacitated and is sick.
Sorry,
the who is the governor. He was doing so many things. Knowing fully well that people are in the states. The man is from the local government. The people who feel that how can this man be doing well? Is it because he's sick? So those things were there. That pain had been there. Eventually he have his way because nobody have power over that. The man eventually died, and the law is very clear. In the absence of the governor, the deputy governor takes over. There's no vacuum in government. He was sworn in as governor. And he was sworn in, and there was not enough time for him now to begin to reach out to people. Instead of him to begin to reach out to people, he was bringing new structure. He's fighting the status of assembly, and people are aware there's even the speaker and few persons that is with him. He's fighting other people who were not with him. In fact, most of those who were in the new government, he have dropped the majority of them. And now he presents himself for the primary. Yes, the primary have been conducted. You agree with me that so many areas, some local government materials were not brought. The result was written, which is, whether you like it or not.
There's just allegations because
yes,
what they said was enough material.
Yesterday, people said their own side. His own loyalists also said their own side. I think the person, his own DG, even came out to say that yes, in some area the material did not get there on time. That does not mean that the material did not get there. If as at 1 p.m., election that was direct primary, material have not got it there. So at what point did you not bring the material and conduct the primaries? Whether you like it or not, the person who has the responsibility to announce the result, who is the governor of Kogi State, have announced, have declared the sitting governor the candidate of the party. I'm aware that I think they will be giving certificate today. So others, if you feel aggrieved, the court is open. Or you go to the party first. They have, I think they've also set up a panel that will look into your grievances. So if you're not satisfied, then you can go to court. But as we speak now, the sitting governor is the candidate of the party. I think that it's not left for the people to not patronize him with their vote at the election proper.
We'll get to that point.
Or they do otherwise.
We'll get to that point, definitely. Yeah.
The man is in charge. Like I said before, you must understand that the sitting governor, when people begin to fight, and I'm just laugh. It's like you are a car going through the have a needle. Now the thing that you can fight a sitting governor when they have interest, it's not possible. Because our democracy is not the way democracy is being practiced outside this country.
All right, Harrison.
Winners take it, or if I'm in charge, I'm in charge.
In charge. Okay, now let's take a look at the process. Because from what the DG of Yadima of the campaign organization talked about, he said, look, all these ones that these distractors are saying that there were no elections in some places, no material, no officials, that is not true. The materials got to those areas, those in some areas it came a tad bit late, but that is not to say that no material officials were there to conduct the election. Now, taking it from this perspective, do you think that the electoral body do share a blame, or will really share a blame in this regard? Because they came with the materials. So who is the one coordinating them?
Every blame on any issue that had to do with good governance in this country goes to the courts. 1, goes to the court 2, goes to the court 3, before going anywhere elsewhere. Because the court have perpetually kept us where we are. Where the court will not allow things to be done rightly. When the court will deliberately give injunction, sometimes of equal jurisdiction, giving same injunction,
the same day,
putting things on pending, things that are, the politicians or the actors will continue to play the same card. Because the umpire that are supposed to make it clear will not do. Instead, probably will be the one to approach the actors that we can care every of these things. Even if I do not give judgment, it can continue to be there and time will finish the whole process of the case. We have seen it in the issue of the G14, Edo State House of Assembly. Up till now, another dispensation have come. It showed they are almost surrounding 1 year. Up till now, the G14 House of Assembly issued that the Edo State Governor Godwin refused to swear in out there. But I am happy he also extended it to the court. The judges, he has refused to swear them in. It is part of the prayer some of us have prayed. And he will never swear them in till he leaves.
Anyway, you are not the governor.
No!
You don't know
What
his
goes around?
mind.
Now let me tell you. We have the NBA. We have the NJC. We have bodies ordinarily who need to check inadequacies. That was why they decided on their own to organize the states.
So you tell me now, how does it relate to Ondo State's primary?
Now I am not coming. Why related to Ondo primary? Even if they have not even brought out, even if one person did not even come out to queue behind anybody, result will be called, someone will be declared, other aggrieved persons will go to court, knowing fully well that is an issue that ought to be a pressing issue, and that the court need to quickly look into and order the party to do AYZ or make a quick recommendation, they will refuse. And the person who did not even win the primary, for example, will face an election, will be declared a winner, will rule for 4 years, the case will still be in courts. So at the end, where are we? Now they must understand this. What goes around must come around.
Okay.
Nigeria to move forward. The main actors, there are people who propel the actors to act the way they do.
We'll get there.
And the court is number one in that.
We'll get there. Now, he talked about the court because these protesters are protesting. They went to INEC office saying this should be cancelled. This is not an election, according to them. You declare it as one the winner. That means you are supporting anarchy and democracy. You have to cancel the process and redo it the way it ought to be done. They're heaping the blames right now on INEC. Heaping the blames right now on Ayedatiwa and his cronies, so to speak, right now in court. And of course, Collins said the courts are not far from the blame, so to speak. Take it up from there.
Well, thank you very much. I think that their protests, they are going to the wrong place. Constitutionally, it is the political party that have right over their primaries. The role of INEC is just to observe what is happening there. INEC cannot announce a result of a party primaries. INEC is to, what they do is that you write to INEC, informing them of the day, the time, the location for your primaries. The party have carried out their responsibility. It is not left for INEC to go there or to go elsewhere. What you just need is to have a document that was signed, received, that you wrote to INEC to come and monitor your primaries. And when INEC comes there, their own is to observe the process. They cannot not go to the office and say that primary was not done in accordance with the law. You are not a member of the political party. Now, the political party set up a committee that conducted the primaries. And the governor of Kogi State, Ondo, was the chairman of the committee. I think what they did this time around is to learn from the mistake they make in Edo, where the chairman of the committee was announcing results. They have other persons who call themselves returning officers who feel that they also have power to announce results somewhere. I think they didn't give that power to returning officer this time around. That one didn't play out. Because if not, you have also seen some persons, maybe the other candidate will be able to get 1 or 2 of those people also declaring results somewhere. I think they've corrected that lapses. That when you say you have a committee, the power should be on the center of the chairman of the committee. And the results have been declared. Even when they said election was not conducted in 2 local government and some other areas, this will be conducted. Now, the issue of the court, you see, is a Nigerian thing. And I pray God will help us. If you saw what happened in Kogi State, the former governor, a court declared that you cannot try this man. Another court in Abuja declared that you can try the man. Is it not the same judiciary? Is it not the same system? So, or what is the point that this person is saying you cannot? Why is the other one saying you can? So, and that comes down to individual. You know, when people sit down and say politicians are bad, they are this. Those who will tell you that they don't do politics. But they are worst.
Yeah.
Those who destroy the system, most times they are just within it there. They are the ones that destroy the system. Why? It is still boiled down to money, resources. So, they will go to court if they have their way. Better for them. But I can assure you that there is nothing they are going to do to ensure that we're able to turn the result of the sitting governor. The Nigerian system gives so much power to our governors. The federal government here is at the top. Federal government cannot control the state government, but state government control the local government. A governor can wake up today and tell a local government that today you are leaving. You will go. Heaven will not fall. You see the way they structure this constitution. So the power these people have is very strong. And they can decide today and say that Today, you saw what happened when Wike was a governor. He's fighting his boy. When he was a governor, how dare you? He told the, what is his name, former minister, they will not enter that state. He didn't enter, try it. I know that is the sitting governor. But how can Nigeria will allow our laws to just be thrown outside? The constitution is there. The rules are there, but the actors, those who to implement it, they compromise. Okay. So what we are saying is that, yes, we are trying to see to build our democracy. It's painful that this time around, things like this still happen. It must happen because it's quest for power. People will do everything within their power to ensure that they get this power. And at times, if the lapses is not much, you can ask, okay, let our life to go. But what happened in Ondo State the day before yesterday, even the Coronation part yesterday, is a show of shame. It's just that somebody who is actually not on ground with the political party. That is just the truth.
All right.
Majority of the political parties and the member didn't want the sitting governor. And if the truth has to be said, if the party must look at that, that was the direction. But because of this issue of governors coming to conduct primary, and I asked myself, is it not compulsory, both in PDP and the APC, that governor must be the chairman of a primaries? Does the law permit them? So why is it that anytime they are conducting primary in any state, they must go and bring a governor to come and how can a governor go against a sitting governor? It's not possible.
It's not possible. Now let's take a look at this school of thought. Some are saying that this kind of show is peculiar to the APC. It said it happened in Edo State. There was, in street terms, bars and those you get to see one calling result. I went at a place to call out that result and another. They were able to resolve it. That Ondo bought a template from Edo State. Hence, they did the same thing, but they were able to wither the power of opposition because, believe it or not, we have strong voices in Ondo State, but they were able to quell it and have their way that it's an APC thing. What's your reaction to this, Collins, as a member of the APC?
I want to disagree with you. That is an APC thing. Even if you want to look at the history of inadequacies when it comes to primary, I think APC is even still better than many other parties, including Labour, NNPP, and what have you. Those ones that have not even near some level of authority. Have you taken?
Are you not saying that PDP is okay?
Have you? No, I said I said APC is a lesser devil than others from other parties. I now specifically measure smaller parties where you have seen them having 3 candidates, 2 candidates, beating up chairman to stoop up. Have you not seen them? So not to talk about the parties like PDP and APC that are hefty, both lions, that have bourgeois and have contact and have so you should expect that it must be a real fight. But it's unfortunate that it's like that. All this whole thing goes back to hit on the common man, of the child, of that child who had a dream, who come from a very peasant background, or should I say a very low background, who had a dream like Martin Luther King Jr. once had, that someday things will change. He will be at a level where he can make things work. But if we continue like this, the child of the peasant farmer cannot have an history with governance. I'm telling you, if these things are not checked in the next few years, to even become an essay, not like the essay of street now. I mean, those normal time when they used to have quality essay, special assistants where I mean, okay, your essay where you actually go out as an official of the governor.
Yeah.
People will see you as an official of the governor, and you represent your boss. For those who don't even know who is the governor, they will think the governor himself is there. But those eras have gone. What I mean that when we used to have those eras, you see the children of a common man. Like if I'm for example, I'm a case study. You know, where I was senior special assistant to the governor, for example, I go out as if it was Comrade Adams that was there, because I had that leverage, that opportunity, that capacity. I'm not talking about the money section of it. But however, if this trend continue, I can bet you to even become an essay for a child of an ordinary man, it will be as walking to enter heaven. But things can change. if only we want to make it change.
Right.
Now, in PDP, for example, you saw their primary. Their primary, I think, is the worst form of primary we have seen in the last history or in the last decade. But still, the statutory persons that were even supposed to vote in that primary were voting somewhere. Another set were doing. The real official were with the other set. And at the end of the day, it was a quagmire. And they are even in court. But today, court have never opened that paper. They have not sat once. You know, it's just funny. It's funny. But how can we continue to say let's remain like this? You and I need to make our input, our impact, not just by way of fiat or by talking, by practical action,
All right.
by being a participant.
Okay,
And that is why we are saying for those who believe that things can get better, we must be participant and don't shy away.
I'll come back to you, Collins. Well, you heard him. He spoke at length talking about the
Yes.
conducting of the election. He said, well, it is not like into APC only. He talked about other political parties that they have issues, but we're able to, like, manage that instead of like the PDP that conducted the worst of primaries in Edo State. Well, throw more light on this. Is it peculiar to these two great parties, or is just a Nigerian thing?
Well, let me say this one. You see, Collins is my friend, is my brother, so he knows that in his heart that he's just trying to make noise where none exists. In the history of democracy, in the PDP, the last primary was the most peaceful primary we have ever seen in that party. Conducted, that brought in our candidates. We were having 10 of them in that primaries. And the primary was conducted at the stadium. Apart from somebody who decided to stay in his own house, the former deputy governor, who decided to stay in his own house and conducted primary for himself and announced himself, which is not part of it. The other persons that were in that primaries, we are at the stadium. We did our primary at the stadium so that I can set the record straight. The other person that didn't go there is Obedeyama, who also wrote that he had withdrawn from the race. He had the right to do that. That is a good sportsmanship. And every other person at the stadium that day, we are given opportunity of 5 minutes to tell the audience what they will do for the people if they are elected as a candidate. And all of them spoke. At the end of the day, the primary was conducted. Dr. Asweleme Igudaro won the primaries. So without any inch.
So you're saying that should be competitive on those states?
It is the most peaceful primaries. Right. For our people in APC, we know what happened. People were beaten, houses were destroyed. 3 candidates emerged. Some went to do their own in one man's house, some went to hotel, some went to different locations. In fact, I think they did that their primary up to 3 times. You want to compare such a primary to the primary that was conducted by PDP? It's not possible. The truth has to be said. The people are watching us. They saw what happened. They see what is. So it's an APC thing. It's an APC thing. That does not to say that in the PDP we have gotten to the zenith, that everything is. But I can tell you that in that party, it is reduced. It can be managed, people can be talked to, and people will understand. What we clamor for is the best person, not everybody declaring intention. People just wake up in the morning and say, I want to become a governor. You didn't buy form, you didn't do anything. Are you a candidate? So some of them, you're not a candidate, not until we know that you have a capacity to do so that people can even listen to you. I think all the political parties, whether Labour, PDP, APC, they must realize that we should center our candidate on the popularity of the person. Let it be that the people, the person that the people actually projects inside the party member, and this person is more popular. He has the capacity, he has the competence to deliver. Not trying to force your will on the people. Not trying to make that if it's not this person, nothing will happen. Or you feel that this person will be able to keep or shield you from a problem. Just like what Ondo is doing for his former master, who is now flying through the fence trying to run away. I think he has been declared wanted now.
All right.
There was a demigod a few months ago. That's the irony of life. When you get into power, remember that one day that power will end. You leave. How will you not live your life when you live there?
All right. Now, if you take a look at the situation right now in Ondo State, some are saying that this might just be the beginning of the end of the rulership of APC in that state because of what transpired. The story that's emerged or emanated between the late governor and, of course, the deputy governor, who is now the governor, and, of course, the resistance he's facing internally, even in his party. Do you think that theory will come true if this particular standoff, so to speak, is unresolved?
No, it's nothing new, and it will not be the first time it will happen. If the candidate after the primary chooses to be an island and chooses not to go forward by way of appealing, by way of, putting offers on the table for those who are also actors, to see how the situation can be managed, it's left for him. And the people, if they vote against him, they shouldn't think democracy is still, though our democracy is crawling, but it's not crawling to the level that if you don't have a manageable size, you can just run over it. No, being an incumbent governor will not. We have had incumbent governors that have lost election. In Ekiti, Fayemi was an Fayose and Fayemi crisis. You saw the way it happened. He was an incumbent governor who felt there was no need to do anything like stomach infrastructure, but to buy tablets without battery, like the one they are doing in Edo State to teachers. And at the end of the day, he saw the beauty in it. They kicked him away, far away, and they brought in Fayose. And Fayose came in, realizing that what the people wanted was stomach infrastructure. Then he was the person who brought the word stomach infrastructure that I'm talking today. And he entered everybody's stomach. And that was why he saw that in Imo, Rocha Sokorocha had to also copy and created the Ministry of Happiness and Affairs. Yeah. So all these are democracy, attribute of democracy. Government for the people, by the people, and for the people. You must know what interests them. That does not stop the other area of infrastructure. So I think our people should understand. But the fact that our party is in the center, and you think if you continually misbehave, and the center will cover you. No. We will not encourage this center to cover inadequacy. And that was why you saw that the primary that happened in Edo is the first kind of primary that have happened anywhere in this country. In this country, where you saw someone many felt was not fully in the race, but was able to enjoy himself to reactors, where you saw lions stepping down or dropping their interest for others to go. That is the height, that is how far conversation, talk, political arithmetic can go. And at the end of the day, he still went into the primary. We did the first primary beautifully and well. People were assigned to each local government to go and conduct them and bring your report. They all went, brought their report, and stated in the way they saw it. And some interest felt, no, that wasn't fine. They needed a replay. Good. Listening leadership. Listening party. They said, okay, back to the field for a second half. They went to the second half. It was so beautiful, just the way it was in the first one. Then interest arose. Then become the candidate and other leaders who want the success of the party. They went all out to harmonize interests. To say we once quarreled a few minutes ago, we are now brothers. If you can convince another to become your brother, that means you have played the game. And that is why you saw one of the aspirants, I mean 3 or 4 of the male aspirants, see, today has since hugged, our candidate, who is a less talker but an action man. All right. Now, what am I not trying to say? Today, with the reconciliation and all that happened in the party,
you react.
All that happened in the party alone, yes, have only shown that this man really is not a talkative, but a workative.
Thank you.
So that is what the state wants today. We want a workative, not a talkative. Not
Thank you, Collins.
From table to chair and all of that.
Thank you, Collins.
Because we are not acting drama. It's governance.
Thank you, Collins. Well, I'm going to turn the same question to you. Though he said the center will not condone inadequacies, now do you see PDP cashing in on the lapses that is just so glaring in the APC in Ondo State? Before you now react to what Collins said about Edo State, take it up from there.
Yes, I'm telling you, if the PDP take advantage of this crisis and come out with a candidate that is more popular, is more acceptable, and they are together, if possible, let them even look at among the PDP, the fallout from there, one of the heavyweight there, they can pull that one to their side and they have to their own, they take the day. You see, this issue of federal money doesn't work. I've told you before that in this country, the way Nigeria is zeroed, the power of a sitting governor is only the same power with the president. Every state that presidency want to bring election, just know that they have the sitting governor to inside. If it doesn't have the sitting governor, it will not work. Except they will not come and will not conduct the election in that state. If they are going to conduct the election there, it doesn't work. And our election have gone beyond those days that your right piece of paper and nasty. Election, our process have grown a bit. The election is being won from the units. Through the cadre that the results are there. So it's difficult to just wake up and say, we want to do it. All the political parties are represented. If I'm in my unit, we have one, we have put it, and I'm moving it to a coalition, so they come and tell me you want to do this. You leave your head for house. It doesn't work again. We have gone beyond that. I've always said that. Let me just remind my brother a bit. You see, he said their candidate is not a talkative. I can't remember in this 21st century, you are bringing somebody a dumb who cannot talk. How do you not relate to governors? You are going to be talking to investors. You are going to be talking to the people to make sure the state work. And you are telling us that you are bringing a candidate that cannot talk. Somebody who said is a city senator. Go to history. This is a senator who have not passed any bill, who have not made contribution to anyone, including his own deputy too. So the people are waiting. The campaign will soon start. Then you will not come and tell us what you have on ground to win the election. I'm telling you, they get crashed to end at that level, to present those candidates. And Edo people is asking questions. Come and tell us what you have done in the past. Come and tell us where you are coming from. Where have you worked before? You have so much money. Where is this money coming from? The other one is the other side. You have money to buy everybody in your political party and you became the candidate. Oga, where have you worked before? I have been a MBA chairman for 2 years, a voluntary association. Come and tell us where you got this money from. We have candidates who have track records. The issues will soon come. This time around, there is no blind voting. Maybe some people think they will hide in the name of obedient movement. We are talking about the people. The three major political party candidates are there. Assess these persons based on their performance, based on their past record, where they are coming from, and the Edo people will decide who will lead them.
All right.
We don't want to coerce anybody. We want people to vote based on competence, capacity. What have they done in the past? Then our candidates receive this everywhere. A man who has led multinationals.
You guys
to tell us that you are
bringing it down to
Edo State. No, we are not referring to Ondo State.
Let's back to
They
Ondo
should be
State.
aware that if you bring in somebody that is not competent, the people will vote against you. We are wise. Now our democracy has gone beyond the level of people not seeing what is on ground. People want to look at your track record. They want to see what you have done in the past. And whether you like it or not, your past will determine the future. Yes. If I've been able to do well in the little opportunity I find myself in my private business, people see what I've been doing. They know that if they commission another position in my hand, I will perform. But the situation where everything you have done in your life to be a PA to one former leader, and you are coming to tell us what the leader just said, this state is too sophisticated for
Harrison, thank you. Now let's go back again to Ondo State. But is there a chance of reconciliation, Collins? Because right now, as it stands, APC Ondo State, according to reports, pardon this description of war, is in tatters because of the various factions dragging, fighting, scrapping for that particular scrap of meat called governance. Take it up from there.
Nothing is irreconcilable. If you can go back to history, though not too far, but still become an history, when President Tinubu became the candidate of the party, even his own party leaders, as it were, in government, majority, 99% of persons who were in that government really didn't want him to come to government. They wanted someone among them who probably would re-employ all of them back. But it came, he won. He needs to go further by striving, removing that he's the leader of the party. He threw that canopy away and saw himself as a young boy. You saw him moving from the one he cannot meet in Nigeria and meet them abroad. All those things were being covered. Humility, loyalty, understanding that this is a game of politics. In a game of politics, you cannot undermine anybody. And you cannot say, who are you? And the person you just say, who are you, for example, may not have too many crowd. maybe he only has 3 persons as a crowd of his own. And in that 3 persons as a crowd of his own, maybe one of his best friend that he once helped many years ago is the INEC returning officer in one of the major local government that will determine your victory. Now you did there. Only that, let me do the spoiler. And that one doesn't mind if it will cost his life. So what am I not trying to say is that you don't say who are you in this game of politics. There must be a way we must manage the situation. He went all out, he did his best. Though some persons, no matter how you try to reconcile them, probably when they feel they are too rich, what do you even have to offer me? When my own capital investment or my own, the money I even have in the bank can buy the state cannot even raise it for 15 years, for example. I just wanted to come and assist the people. Since you people have decided to ring me out the way you rang me, it's over. And no matter how you try to reconcile some in that manner, they will not. But some who are party in nature, who understand that election comes and go, is nothing permanent sometimes, they can be discussed with. But if you have not betrayed them over the time, there are people when they come to you and say, oh please, for the errors of yesterday, I promised we'll make an amendment when I become governor. And they do. When they finally become governor, you see them making up those promises made. People can understand those kind of people that, okay, this one is just fresh in making promise, let me. But if you are known for perpetual betrayal, that after every promise you make, like the one we saw in Edo, for example, between the legacy group and
you keep dragging the door into this.
You know, it's good we always have references.
I'm here to respond to him.
No, it's good, and it's good we always have references.
Yes.
Now, you saw that even when they tried to start going back, they say, you again, leading this to God, no, God forbid. That means it won't happen. Because you have made consistent promises, and right to their eyes, even in less than 3 minutes, you were appointing people immediately, you were sworn in, and you betrayed them completely. So somebody like you leading another promise train, oh God, man, nobody can believe. Even some, you even placed it on budgets to show to the people, oh, see how I put on, like the Benin National Museum we talked about the time. There was a time the state government placed it in the budget that, oh, just to make the Benin feel happy, that the Benin Royal Museum, agitated by we the Benin's, were coming. And at that time, almost all of us were loving him. But the whole budget came, elapsed, died, and wake up, and nothing we saw till they rose up a mower somewhere. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it's good for politicians to understand that today is good, but tomorrow will come in the judgment. If you make promises today, do all you can. Even if you cannot meet 100%, meet at least 55% of promises made, so that people will understand that probably out of constraint, you couldn't meet them all. Not when you deliberately keep people, you make promise and you start pursuing them, fighting them. The one you cannot fight, you send them far from you. If you come the next day to make promise, even if they tell you they are with you, I can guarantee you they are gathering the best information they can to mess you up at the right time. So, you know, though, the guy just came in, though, like my friend Harrison talked about just now, he got some character that was not supposed of him. You know, when you are working with a master or a boss, even if your master is not too good, you can give advices. If that advices are not working, not until you have the real opportunity to now administer and make your own amendment. Don't be faster than your shadow, right, which he tried doing in Ondo that aggravated some of the things there. But that one was between administration and coming and not coming. I think they can also put it behind them. All right. This time, let him go all out with humility, appeal to his people, and be genuine in it. And now he's even the governor already. There are some he can immediately meet with by way of either appointment, contract. When you make a budget, you want to build schools or you want to build roads, he is not specifying that a particular person must be the contractor. If I reconcile with you and I know you can tie good road, and I give you the standard that it must be, this is our standard, and you bring in your company, I can give you that contract to start it.
Okay, fine. What you heard him, he said it's not too late to reconcile, but in the person of Ayedatiwa, know how he got there, know the battles, the battle according to him, he fought and now he's still fighting. Yeah. Do you see a template of reconciliation, knowing fully whether the election is coming immediately after a Edo State governorship election?
Well, I think the only thing that will see him through is to reconcile with the people. First, it's not on ground. From what I have seen throughout the night, I looked at the channels, I saw what people were saying. It is not a grip of the party yet. It's trying to use that government power to begin to change things within the party. So reconciliation is the only way to go for him. But the way his DG was speaking yesterday on Chinese is he speaking war. He's not ready to, he's being combative. He's trying to tell them, we have done it, we have won, whatever will happen. And I think that will not be okay for the party. Before I begin to see them decamping, leaving them, I think what they need to do now is to begin to reach out, talk to them. Like he said, he's the sitting governor. He have all the tools to actually talk to them and make them to become one, so that the party can be strong again, so that when the campaign starts, they can meet the people and they will get good results. But back to Edo State, from what my brother was saying, that our government did this promise and all that.
But he never mentioned them. He just said
I don't know where
group.
he's getting the information from.
I said legacy group and promises.
I don't know where you are getting. We don't have anything like legacy group again in PDP. PDP is one. The negotiation, people have been talked to. When Aswani Godaro came in, he boosted the reconciliation. And majority of them have come together. So a few persons, like you said, there are some persons that whether you like it or not, you talk to them in the morning, they want to do what they want to do. Those are the few persons that is remaining. And just to remind you that last week they were supposed to decamp to your party, the remaining of them. Between that Friday and Saturday, we don't know what happened again in the night. To tell you that you cannot also trust them. There was only the same person who picked to become your deputy governor's candidate. Before Shomole came to change it, they will not allow. Those are people you are saying they are legacy group. They are not members of our party. They are members of APC. They came to go and be the same person to come and be deputy in their party, which is a Bedeyama. And so that was speculation. The injustice, there were protests. In our last program, he even mentioned it. In our last program. Let me tell you this, sir. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You can't eat your cake and have it. These people have been talked to. It is not every time you will have your way. You know, when you are fighting somebody that, I always say, when you are fighting somebody that is bigger than you, find a way to just accept this fight. My father told me when I was growing up, let me speak Bini, the man that can beat you, when the man is walking towards you, you will know that this man can beat you. Trying to fight that man, it's an exercise in futility. These people have been spoken to. Tell me, why did they not come and join their party the day they agreed they were going to join? At the end of the day, Matthew Rogide, who had come to their party long ago, they were not receiving him again. So I look as if the exercise was just a mirage. So we know all these things. Information, because people hear the information. If you are in, be in. If you are not part of it, go to elsewhere. You understand? But it's my prayer. I have been praying. We have been begging them to come. Let us do this thing together. But like I said, there are some persons, whether you like it or not, they will not join you. They have made up their mind. They will just be there to begin to create problems if there is problem. PDP is that one. In my ward, for example, from my ward, their legacy chairman we are in one meeting in the same place. We are all together. Everybody has settled. As we speak now, the 10 chairmen of the former legacy are not members. They have come back to their party. So where are you getting all this information from? We have resolved our issues. Those who don't want to accept it the way it was resolved, they have a choice. It is either they join the party or they go elsewhere. That is politics for them. That's why I keep telling you that this politics, people take it as profession. When you don't take this thing as your job, when you don't take it as a career, when this one finish, you go and face what you are doing. But if you are taking it as a profession, as a career, when you are out of government, you look as if you want to die. You must do everything within your power to make sure that you are back to the system. Because why? All the years you have not trained yourself to do any other thing apart from this thing called politics. Because it is because of the patronage, the money that is coming from the system. Everybody want to take their own so that they will go at the detriment of the state. And those state governor is very focused. You were saying that laptop without tabs. And those best projects, go and tell you, people have come from Lagos. Other states are coming to take them to come with our phototype, to come and learn what we are doing. Baisa have come. Even your APC governors have come here to come and see what we're doing. They do best. So we are not doing stories. It's not, when you go there, you see it. You can mark it. You sit there for yourself.
All right, thank you.
So
thank you.
We're not deceiving the people. The people are seeing what we are doing.
Thank you.
But this government cannot do all.
It is
I
not.
swear Igodalo will take over.
Gentlemen, calm down. We're not to campaign. It's not about Edo State. It's about Ondo State.
Now, because it's bringing the Edo issue, so I have to defend my party.
Fine. Now, what advice do you have for Ayedatunwa right now that he has won the ticket according to report, but we still have so many aggrieved persons in Ondo State. We have very strong personalities like OK and the rest of them saying no to this. What advice do you have for the citizens and of course this sitting governor
As we call it a wrap on this discussion segment.
Yes, he must understand that some people are browned in their party and their relationship cut across party. There are some he has just contested with to be governor. They are not just normal candidate of their party. They are browns. Just like we have Obede Yama in Edo State, for example. He's a brown. Whether PDP, APC, Labour Party, he's a brown. So when you have people like that who are brown, you must do all you can, humanly possible. If not putting them on the podium to hold microphone and be making promises on your behalf, but at least let them be in a fair ground with you. Because they are brown. So he must understand that in politics, some persons may not be talks. Because the irony is that today, governors believe they can identify agberus or people who are talks. They will tell them to go and start collecting revenue, don't account 3 months to election. They give them license to be doing anything they just want to. So they believe when they have elements like that around them, they can win election. No, I hear the two lucky should understand that the era of encouraging togri to win election is over. Like what we are seeing at those states today, full street, you will see about 35 agberus with different tickets everywhere, market, even up to, they are almost entering churches right now to start cutting tickets. So if because an election is coming, you begin to create a system that the citizen becomes unsafe, their businesses become unsafe, caravan have become a new central bank for ticket people, wheelbarrow people have become pure water people. Oh, if you see what they do them, I shed tears. Oredo is the highest. I have never seen a council chairman who will not even leave his office. Does he want to allow his councillors to work?
He's one of the councillors.
That's what I'm trying to say. Ordinarily, you have oversight. When you see councillors also going out, supervisory councillors, I have never seen all these boys walking. Or they don't have vehicle.
Collins, thank you. You keep dragging the dose into this. Thank you. Hold on. Harrison, calm down. Well, he said
I'm worried.
They should reconcile. But you keep dragging the dose state into this. It's all right. That is your last line of this discussion. So, Harrison, you have the right to react. What others do you have for you that you are the issue or APC members, rather?
Like I said, they should reconcile their issues so that they can win the election. Let me come back to my state. But let me state unequivocally, very clearly this morning.
Back to your state again.
Oredo Local Government Council is doing more than enough. The chairman of the council is doing his work, is going out, is reaching out to the councillors, is saying to the councillors to do what they are supposed to do. Edo State government, as we speak, compared to when your principal was in government, are you talking about Agbiru? You are the inventors of Agbiru in this state. In your government, somebody was celebrating 1 billion. People cannot talk. Community people don't sleep in their houses. People were counting money with machines. And you are talking about Agbiru. Today, I can tell you for free that we don't have Agbiru in the street. We have people who collect revenue, including local government staffs and women. Women collect revenue in order to local government council. I am a human rights activist. I don't say what is not on ground. You can go and verify. Those people that put on uniform to go around, they are enforcers. Because our drivers will not pay. By 12 o'clock, they are in the field to enforce them to come and pay. If you break the law, any other means for people to bring you to follow the law, don't complain. Because there are rules. You're supposed to buy your ticket by 8 o'clock to 1 p.m.
Thank you.
After that time, the people go to the field to enforce, to ensure that they bring them
thank you so much.
Rules. So let me make it clear that there is no Agbero in our state.
Thank you so
we
much,
are not
gentlemen.
building individual, building institutions.
All right, thank
and
you.
And then people will decide when the time comes.
Thank you so much. Well, you can hear them go at each other, APC, PDP. They are friends when it comes to party.
We are from the same constituency. We are both comrades.
So human rights activism, politics, they are the same. You just can't talk about Ondo without bringing it into it. After all, it's share a common boundary. And moreover, the election is just like almost a month apart. So you see, they have the same thing, but focusing more about what transpired in Ondo State. It is time for reconciliation. That is just the truth. It's time for reconciliation. it is better to judge rather than war. As of yesterday evening, they are still talking tough. But don't forget that politics is all about numbers. If you dwindle your number because of quarrels occasioned by the primaries, it might just affect you in the main election. So do well to reconcile. Like both of them opined during those state, they have different opinion about Ondo State, the same opinion. I wonder why that is. Because of party interest, I don't know. You have to do everything you can to really settle the rates. Call your agreed members. Make them offers. That is how politics works. To get numbers, you have to reach out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Thank you
for
very
a wonderful analysis, and of course the bars, and of course the blows because of political party interest and all that.